Hello everyone, before we begin, let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Syarif Abulkhoir. I'm as moderator in this session. I will also introduce my friend in this session. Here they are. Today, we are going to talking about adverbial clauses and what the meaning of adverbial clauses, types of adverbial clauses, by giving example of sentence, and finally we are going to discuss about function of adverbial clauses. Okay, we start from the meaning of adverb clause. Adverb clause is a clause whose function is to explain a verb. This clause states of affirms a condition which is part of the main sentence. Often, the adverb clause becomes an important element in a sentence in explaining important things that support an event, such as where the incident occurred, why it happened, how much influence was given to it, and how it happened. For example, the sentence and words used in adverb clauses also vary and have many types of influence of the sentence. Here are some examples of sentences that use the adverb clauses. Let's move on to formulas and examples of adverb clauses. The easiest formula for adverb clause is to make it a clause with the conjunctive statement. Meanwhile, the adverb clause itself consists of two kinds of sentence, namely complex sentence and adverbial clauses. Let's observe below. Complex sentence. There are independent clauses that subject plus verb plus adverbial clauses. The second formula of adverbial clauses: subordinate conjunction plus subject plus verb plus adverb. Okay, on to give example of sentence about adverbial clauses. Written here, when she walked, she found a lot of stuff. When here as subordinate conjunction, and the first sentence as adverbial clauses, and the last sentence are as independent clauses. Okay, next we are going to be talking about types of adverb. Material will be taught by my friend is Vijiantika.
Before moving on to discussing examples of adverb clauses, we first identify the types. Types 1. Adverbial clause of time. This type of adverb clause is used to describe time. The conjunctions that are often used for this type of adverb clause include after, before, by the time, when, and until. Example sentences using the adverbial clause of time. 1. After I finish talking with him, I will meet you. 2. Before you leave the house, you should check everything and make sure that the door is locked. 3. By the time Linda arrives, I will be at the library. 4. When our boss arrives, you should be ready for the meeting. And 5. Should I wait for you until you come? Types 2. Adverbial clause of place. This type of adverb clause serves to provide a description of the place. Anywhere, everywhere, where, wherever are the most frequently used conjunctions for these types of adverb. Examples of sentences using the adverbial clause of place. 1. Wherever I go, little Jimmy always follows me around. 2. Lisa will bring me to anywhere I want to go. And 3. I'm going to rent an apartment, but it's better if it's close to the place where I work. Types 3. Adverbial clause of cause and effect. To add cause and effect information, we use the adverb clause of cause and effect type. The conjunctions that are often used from this type of adverb include because, since, and in order that. Examples: 1. Linda is on a diet in order that she can fit in her gown for her brother's wedding party. 2. Because it's raining heavily from the morning, I have to skip my classes. And last, since I will be on my leave starting this week, Alicia will take care my jobs.
4. Adverbial clause of purpose and result. The adverbial clause of purpose is used when we want to add an adverb that tells the purpose. So that less in the hope that is a conjunction that is widely used in this type of adverb clause. Example of sentence using adverbial clause of purpose and result. Number 1 is I am asking you to join us in the meeting so that you can speak out your opinion. And the meaning is saya mengajakmu untuk bergabung dengan kami dalam rapat ini supaya kamu bisa mengutarakan pendapatmu. Number 2, we will depart to the venue 30 minutes earlier lest we will be late. And the meaning is kita akan berangkat ke tempat 30 menit sebelumnya supaya kita tidak terlambat. Number 3, I asked my children to come home earlier in the hope that all of our family can have dinner together today. And the meaning is saya menyuruh anak-anak untuk pulang lebih awal dengan harapan seluruh keluarga bisa makan malam bersama hari ini. 5. Adverbial clause of condition. When we want to add an adverb in the form of a conditional event that has certain condition, we use the adverbial clause of condition. The conjunction of this type of adverb include if, as long as, only if, otherwise, unless. Example of sentence using the adverbial clause of condition. Number 1 is I will buy the groceries for you if are busy. And the meaning is saya akan membelikan bahan-bahan pangan untukmu jika kamu sedang sibuk. Number 2, Randy will come to my party as long as there is someone who can accompany him too. And the meaning is Randy akan datang ke pestaku selama ada seseorang yang bisa menemaninya. Number 3, Lisa will buy this gown only if the store owner gives her 10% more discount. And the meaning is Lisa akan membeli gaun ini hanya jika pemilik toko memberikannya diskon tambahan 10%. Number 4, you should pick up Lina's call, otherwise she will think that you ignore her. And the meaning is kamu harus mengangkat telepon dari Lina. Jika tidak, dia akan beranggapan bahwa kamu mengabaikannya. And number 5, I will not forgive you unless you show me your guilty feeling. And the meaning is saya tidak akan memaafkanmu kecuali kalau kamu menunjukkan perasaan bersalahmu. 6. Adverbial clause of manner. This type of adverbial clause is used to add an adverb in a sentence that shows how. The conjunctions that are widely used are as if, how, like, as although. Example of sentence using the adverbial clause of manner. Number 1 is, I had delivered your message to Raina as what you told me yesterday. And the meaning is, saya telah mengirimkan pesan kepada Raina, seperti apa yang kamu katakan semalam. Number 2, Sinta gave us order as if she was the leader in our group. And the meaning is, Sinta memberi kami perintah seakan-akan dia adalah ketua dalam grup kami. Number 3, she really understands how I feel right now. And the meaning is, dia benar-benar memahami bagaimana perasaan saya sekarang. Number 4, they do not care with other likes, they are the only one there. And the meaning is, mereka tidak peduli dengan yang lain, seperti mereka adalah satu-satunya orang di sana. And the last, Danny acts strange as a dog. Today is the last day of his life. And the meaning is, Danny berperilaku aneh, seakan-akan hari ini adalah hari terakhir hidupnya.
Function of adverb clause. There are three functions of adverb clause. The first is explaining verbs in a sentence or clause. For example, Andy worked hard. In this sentence, the word hard explaining the word work. Other example, I drive motorcycle carefully. In this sentence, the word carefully explain the word drive. The second function is explaining adjectives in a sentence or clause. For example, the weather is very cold. In this sentence, the word very explaining the word cold. Other example, Kuta Beach is the most beautiful beach in Indonesia. In this sentence, the word the most explain the word beautiful. The last function is explaining other adverbs in a sentence or clause. For example, the day fell long because we had nothing to do. Phrase we had nothing to do, explaining the word long. Other example, you need to remain calm even if everyone else panics. Phrase if everyone else panics, explaining the word calm. Other function of adverbial clause. The first as sentence adverbs, the second as conjunctive adverbs, the third as explanatory adverbs, the fourth as relative and interrogative adverbs, the fifth as exclamatory adverbs, the fifth sentence adverbs. Sentence adverbs are often used to describe a whole sentence more than it will describe a verb. The following adverbs are fortunately, presumably, actually, obviously, and evidently. Also of the term of format is similar to adverb of manner, namely by adding by a tense of the descriptive adjective. In terms of function, the sentence adverb reflect the opinion of the speaker, rather than explaining how to do something. For example, number 1, fortunately, no one was hurt. Number 2, actually, I have many problems. The second, conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs connect between a sentence or clause and or begin a sentence. This means that the conjunctive adverb is an adverb that functions to connect one sentence to another sentence, like a conjunctive function in general. Conjunctive adverb is also known as connective. The following words are examples of conjunctive adverbs. Therefore, accordingly, moreover, besides, however, nevertheless, otherwise, then, in addition. For example, I have no money, therefore, I cannot buy this pencil. The third, explanatory adverbs. Explanatory adverbs are adverbs that serve to illustrate or explain further. Adverbs. The following are some explanatory adverbs that are commonly used, namely, for example, that is, for example, namely. The fourth, relative and interrogative adverbs. There are four words included in relative adverbs, namely when, where, why, how. Relative adverbs. This type of adverb initiates an adjective clause. Interrogative adverbs. Adverbs of this type are the beginning of a question sentence that use the WH question: when, where, why, and how. In addition, interrogative adverbs are also included in the question sentence, which is used as a noun clause. For example, number 1, we visit the house when a famous with one sleep. Number 2, when he arrived. Number 3, I asked when he would arrive. The fifth, exclamatory adverb. Exclamatory adverb is an adverb in the form of the word how, which is used in an exclamation sentence and has the meaning of how or realistic. For example, number 1, how beautiful you are. Number 2, how beautiful she is. Thank you.